Hey, what's up guys? It's Mike with 1110 Automotive. I'm doing a review on my new 2016 Dodge Ram 1500. Bought it with 127 miles, I think is what it was on it. Just took it in for its first oil change. Had a slight issue with the alignment. Not sure what happened there at all. As you can tell, maybe it's still slightly off. I got to hold it about right here when it should be a little bit more to the left. I actually got around 10,000 miles out of, one oil change. I got, I think, 2 years free oil changes from this place out here in Waco. Alan Samuels, shout out to them. They are awesome. Anybody looking to buy a Dodge in the Waco area, go there, talk to Jimmy. He is the best. Overall, a damn good truck. You have plenty of room in here. I know it's a little dirty. I haven't cleaned up in a while. It's the 4-door. It's the Tradesman model. Just an all-around solid truck. It's got the V8 Hemi, the 5.7. One weird thing about this truck, I'm not sure if this is the first year, second year, maybe even third, but I didn't think to keep up on this just because I never thought it would be a thing, but this actually has electric steering. It's not power hydraulic steering anymore. There's no power steering pump, no fluid, no lines, no nothing. It's just a little cylinder right at the end of your steering shaft, and it's all electric. It's the craziest thing in the world. I've heard rumors about some models, they will have the capability to have power and like assisted steering as soon as you turn the key on without starting it. This does not have that, unfortunately. Couple of drawbacks from this truck. One is that you have all these buttons on here. Not a single one controls the radio at all. The only thing that it controls that has to deal with the radio is your voice command. So you can either change it from AM, FM, or your satellite radio, or your different inputs, whether it be USB, Bluetooth, or auxiliary. You can do that through the voice, but you can't change the volume or the channel if you're on FM or AM or anything like that, or even on XM. You can't even go through the presets. You got your cruise control on and off, your cancel, sorry, speed bump. You have your resume, you have your set. You also have your gear up and down. One thing that I love about this thing is the 8-speed transmission. And in order to put it into a semi-manual mode, all you have to do is, let me straighten up here a little. You tap the down once, and you'll see I'm in max gear that it'll allow it to go into is second. Downshift one more time, and it'll go into first. And all you have to do to get out of that, rather than tapping all the way through it like this, is go back down, just hold the button down, and then it goes back in auto. This over here, let me pull into my parking spot. Let me give you all a quick little overview of the, I guess, onboard computer that you have on your dash. These buttons here, this is your voice command, by the way. That's for the phone. That is for, let's see, what is that for? You can play an artist, tune to, okay, so you can verbally tell it what frequency to go to, and then you can verbally tell it what source to go to. Tap it again and it gets rid of it. Sorry. So you hit the back arrow right now, because right now I'm in vehicle info, and we can scroll up and down through there, or this is fuel economy, I'm sorry. You can hold down and reset your average, or you can go back. That's my range. I got 60 miles left. Go up to vehicle info, and coolant temperature 203, trans 177, oil temp is 208, 207, somewhere around there, and oil pressure is at 37. Keep going up, 14 volts. Just got oil change. I got 100% life left, and this is the more, I guess, visually pleasing way to view certain temperatures and pressures of certain things. Now these are my tire pressures. They used to be even. They're not anymore because this bad cold snap we had go through a little while back. I had to jump out and put air in it in the cold, and I was kind of in a rush and I didn't do it properly. And you just keep on going through. As you can see, the vehicle is idled for 29 hours straight, or a cumulative 29 hours. And I've driven it a cumulative of 224 hours. And then we go back. And you have 2 trip meters. And on these trips, it keeps your distance traveled, your average fuel economy, and the time that you've just had the vehicle, not just driving, but also running. Because right now I'm parked and you can see that timer still ticking. hold on the reset, and it sets it all back. And as you can see, even though we're not driving, the timer keeps going. This little message center, I had it pop up earlier with 1 for my oil change. I got it fixed and reset now, so that's not there. You can adjust the screen setup and all that. I'm not going to go into too much there. You can adjust what you want to see on your main screen, like the odometer, things like that. Certain settings, and you can turn the menu off if you don't want to accidentally tap it or anything like that. Now the shifter. This shifter, not going to lie, is really, really hard to get used to. For the first, I'm going to say 2 weeks that I've had it, I was constantly going either, not looking. I would go to like turn the air down and I'd shift it into neutral or park or reverse. Now, when you're driving and you're doing more than like 2 miles an hour, if you're in drive and you shift it into anything, it's not going to do it. Like, watch, I'll show y'all. Let me back up here. All right, let's get some speed and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So as you can see, I'm doing about, almost 10 miles an hour, and park. Vehicle speed too high to shift in the park, and then when you slow down, there it goes. Now it's shifted, and you can actually hear an audible little click in here whenever it goes in. Put it back in a drive, and we're off. Now neutral, it will shift into neutral. I believe. Yeah, now we're in neutral. And then go back in a drive. Let's pick up a little bit more speed. And this is not the model with the backup camera. From what I've heard, if you shift into drive shift into reverse while moving forward with substantial velocity, like anything over 5 miles an hour, like I said, it'll actually bring up the backup camera. However, you basically are in neutral. The vehicle isn't getting power and drive or anything like that. So now let's get back up to speed, and now same thing. Too high to shift into reverse. And now we're in reverse. Once you slow down, I'm gonna back up and turn around again. Just an all-around beastly truck. That 8-speed transmission is flawless when driving on the road. You also have a digital speedometer on here. Let me select that. It's really accurate. There is no hesitation, by the way. You know how like on some GPSs, it'll jump if you're accelerating, quick. It'll go from like 5 to 8 to 12, things like that. This does not do that. It is an instant readout of exactly what your speed is. There is no jumping from, 9 to 13 or whatever it may be. See, it does not hesitate at all. There's no gaps in between each number. What was I gonna say? Another thing, the 5.7 liter Hemi surprisingly has 401 horsepower. I was a little skeptical going into this. I didn't know if, I've never had anything that was, anything close to even 350 horsepower, let alone 401. It's a very easy truck to handle. Even when I romp on it, the traction control on it is phenomenal. You don't lose grip. You don't go crazy or anything like that. It's not like you're gonna, if you decide to mash on it while going down the road, you're gonna just totally spin out. Even on gravel, I've gone backroading in this truck and I've, romped on it in the turns. It grabs the road so well. You've got plenty of storage. And here, because I got just the Tradesman model, you don't get the backup camera, you don't get fancy rims or anything like that. They're just stock aluminum rims. You don't get the little 120 volt either. Now you do have 2 cigarette ports, one for with the key. I have my dash cam plugged up to that. And then you also have a constant here. And then if we open up the center, let me move this out of the way, sorry. You get a USB that has power. I believe it's with the running timer on the truck, and then you have your auxiliary, and then you also have a 12 volt car port. And what I did was I hooked up my inverter to it, and now I have 2 ports plus 2 120 volts, and then I also have 2 USBs. That works out great. I mean, that's more than I've ever needed. I've run spotlights, I've run air compressors, and I even run a small welder off of it. It handles more than I'll ever probably use, and I've never once blown a fuse off of that little 12 volt. I absolutely love this truck. Do I recommend it? I only recommend it if you absolutely know that you're never going to need four-wheel drive, because this does not have four-wheel drive in the Tradesman model. I picked this truck up for right around 27 and some change. After financing and everything like that, I think I was right around 38. So I got a pretty good deal, especially with it being my first brand new truck. It can tow a shit ton. I pulled a trailer with 27,000 pounds total on it. We pulled it across the scales just for shits and giggles. It was massive. Now we had to balance out the weight on the axles so that I wasn't putting too much weight on my lease, because I believe this truck only has a 3,000, like 3,100 pound capacity that it's rated up to be put, you know, in the bed, or not just in the bed, but on the rear suspension. That was pushing it, guys. It did it, but it was pushing it. If it's your first truck, like, I know that a lot of kids, you don't want to put them in a brand new truck for their first vehicle or anything like that. This one's a little different. You can actually limit this truck. You can take it to the Dodge dealership, and they can limit it, I think, down all the way to 60 miles an hour. Now, coming stock, it does have a speed limiter. I think it kicks in around 104. There's a little bit of give. I have gotten it up to 107, but it was not going any faster than that. And that was 107 downhill with the wind. It's not getting any faster than that. The computer kicks in, it takes over, and it will not let you go any faster. Now, I will also say this. At 107, I was probably only pushing about, I'd say, 2,300 RPMs. This 8-speed transmission has such a low gear ratio, or a low rev range, you know, going through the gears, that if you were to eliminate that speed limiter, you'd never know exactly what this thing can top out at, you know, strictly due to that the wind drag would limit you more than anything else. It's a pretty quiet truck. I have it straight piped, just because I love the sound. I love the sound of this Hemi. It's, you know, I've got kids over there and the parents over there. I'm not going to rev it right now, but trust me, this thing sounds mean. I constantly get looks. My friends, you know, they love it. I love it. You can fit quite a few people back here. It's really messy. I've got my spotlight, my hoses, and my totes and first aid kit and a bunch of other shit. But for it not being a full-size four-door truck, people fit back here pretty comfortably. Now, I'm pretty tall, so we generally make the shortest person right behind me. But yeah, it's got quite a bit of room back there. I've ridden back there personally. I'm 6'2", and I ride back there every now and then. Like, if I've got somebody that's my DD and they're driving the truck, I'll ride in the back, and it's pretty comfortable. I've ridden back there sober too. Like, I'm not just saying that because I was drunk. But yeah, guys, another thing. Don't drink and drive. That's not okay. But going back to the truck, I'm 6'2", I've ridden in the back. It runs great. Like, I fit great. It's comfortable. The rear suspension isn't too stiff to where it makes the ride, you know, uncomfortable for me, even while sitting in the back. There's no leaf springs in the rear. It actually has coilovers all the way around. And that's really about it that I can think of so far. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to type them down there in the comment section. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching this video.